Hi everyone, I'm going to explain the final notebook project that you will do as your PBL for the term. It's very similar to what we've been doing, except this time you're going to take the lead. You're going to choose your own poem from this choice board. Right here, you have a lot of choices. And then you'll also write your own poem in response to it. So let me go over first the criteria for success. This is just like we saw in the last project, a list of things that you can do to make sure you get the B, which will have the green check mark. Green check mark is B. And if you want the A, you would do the things with the star, which would go above and beyond, and that would get you in the A range. So you're going to need to have a pre-read, a first analysis, and a second analysis. This is just like we've had before, except for the pre-read, you're going to include sort of some predictions about the poem, look at the title, look at the author, and then look at the format, like the shape and the sections. So that's what you'll do in the beginning. If you want the exceeds, if you want to get the A, you'll also include a little bio about the author of the poem. This, again, is to get the extra points. Your first analysis, so again, it's also right here. First analysis, choose at least 3 lines and words that demonstrate simile, metaphor, imagery, repetition, or interesting word choice. Explain how the lines you chose show the poetic element. So these are all of the elements that we've gone over in class. And I want you to choose at least 3 lines that demonstrate an element and explain how. If you want the extra points, you can do 4. Your second analysis, so right here, second analysis in at least 5 sentences, paraphrase the message of the poem and explain what the author wants the reader to think about in your own words. So here's where you'll do the second analysis. You'll write at least 5 sentences, longer if you want the extra points to include the deeper meaning of the poem. For this section, you're going to make a connection. So this means that you're either going to do a text-to-text, which is where you connect something in this poem to another poem that maybe we've read in class or another poem you know about. It could also be a book. And make sure that you explain how these 2 texts connect. So the text being the poem you chose and also this other text, and make sure you include the title and author of that other text. You can also do a text to self, which is where you connect the poem or something in the poem to your own life and experience and explain. And then a text to world, where you connect the text to a universal theme, something bigger than the poem, or a current or historical event, something that's going on in the world. Also, you can address how it's political and it has a political message. So to get the core criteria to get the B, you need to make 2 connections and 3 to get the A, to the exceeds criteria. And then finally, you're now going to transition to writing your own poem. So this poem should have 10 lines, and it should include at least 2 of the poetic techniques we have learned: simile, metaphor, imagery, repetition, or interesting word choice. That should go in here. Then you're going to include your poem, and then you'll write a last reflection. So why did you choose to write the poem about this? What was the message you wanted to convey? What poetic elements did you choose to include? And how did they help include your message? And if you want to exceed criteria, include some words on how this poem that you wrote connects to the poem that was analyzed in the beginning section of the notebook. And you'll write your reflection here. Again, all of the steps to get an A are on this page, including what you need to have for your sentences. And it is due on Friday, June 4th. If you would like to use some of the poems that you've started in class, you can use a draft of one of those poems and complete it. And that's all.